Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, Joy Ann Reid has some thoughts, and she wants to know, why is Maga still so angry? And let's just say she's not holding back. In this clip, she breaks down why Maga supporters still seem so upset. So grab your popcorn, this one is spicy.
Why are y'all so angry? You have the White House, you have both houses of Congress, you have a Supreme Court that is completely obedient to your president. They're willing to give him unlimited power. They're willing to say that he can take SEAL Team 6 and kill anybody he wants. They were willing to affirm that. They're willing to say that ICE can racially profile anybody they want. The United States Supreme Court has said you can racially profile Latinos based on their accent or the way they look. You guys have everything you want. You have legal racial profiling. You've ended DEI. You've ended affirmative action. You get all the best jobs, even if you're not qualified. You can be a Fox Weekend host and be the Defense Department's Secretary of Defense. You can be Kash Patel and be a podcaster who wants to go to Valhalla and run the FBI, as long as you're conservative. You have everything. Why are y'all so angry? What the fuck are you angry about? You've banned all of our books. You've banned Black history. You banned the 1619 Project. You don't have to compete with women for jobs. You've chased them out of the military. You've chased them out of the senior positions in the Department of Defense. You've gotten rid of all the Black history in the museums. Museums are terrified. I have contacts that I'm talking to inside of the Interior Department, people who are running all of those spaces where you can go and see a Civil War memorial or something. The people who work in these places are terrified. They're afraid to tell the real history. The people who are working for the federal government are afraid to say the word Black. You guys have canceled Black scholarships. You're damn near, I guess, ready to get rid of HBCUs. Donald Trump just recently said they're not going to fund any minority serving institution. Y'all have gotten rid of that. You've gotten rid of help for Black kids to go to college. What more do you want? What are you so angry about? I go every so often, I go and lurk and look on X Twitter. Y'all are the maddest people ever. Y'all are so angry for people who have everything. Y'all said you want your country back. You have it. The rest of us are sitting back and trying to keep our peace and preserve our peace while you all are running the country. If the airlines are crashing, that's you. That's the people you wanted to run the United States government. The FBI, y'all are laughing at them on X Twitter and saying that they look ridiculous. That's your FBI. They've purged the people who made the FBI what it was. It's not what you wanted. You have your podcasters running the FBI. You have your friend from the real world running the Department of Transportation. That's what you wanted. There's no longer a gay guy there. The gay guy's gone. The gay guy's at home with his kid and his husband. He's not in charge anymore. The Department of Justice is what you wanted. It's your Justice Department that won't release the Epstein files. If you're mad about the Epstein files, you shouldn't be mad at me and the left. You need to be mad at Donald Trump. You all have the country. You run every red state like it's already Project 2025. You won't let women have abortions in Texas. They're literally dying of sepsis. That's what you wanted. You wanted women to have only 6 weeks to get an abortion in Georgia. You got it. You wanted Texas to be a petri dish and a laboratory for every right-wing, anti-Black, anti-gay, anti-trans idea. And you also got rid of vaccines. Every child in Florida is now going to go to school with kids who could give them measles, mumps, and rubella and COVID. That's what y'all wanted. You now have a paradise in Florida where you can get sick, cough on people, let them die of whatever disease you're carrying. It's almost like you've got the pilgrims again that can come and cough on all the natives and take them out. That's what you wanted. You got it. You wanted Florida to be that. It's that. You wanted the United States to be Florida. It's that. But yet you all are still so angry. I don't understand it. I genuinely don't understand it. I don't mean to rant and rave, but I am genuinely trying to get to the bottom of what you all are so angry about. And I think I have a suspicion and I have a guess. What you all are angry about is that while you have gotten everything you wanted on the right, we on the other side won't give you love for it. We won't respect you for it. We won't hail you for it. We won't respect you and say, hey, we want to, have you at the Oscars. We want to fet you. We want to make you guys, we want to wrap our arms around you. You want us to embrace you. You don't just want to run us and tell us what to do and tell us what to think and tell us what to read and tell us what history we can have. You don't just want to tell us what to do. You want us to embrace you. What you really want is to sit at our table. You're mad because while you are running the country into the ground, you're destroying your own farmers with tariffs. You're destroying your own farmers by taking away their subsidies that used to go with USAID. You got what you wanted. They've ended the farm subsidies. These are the things y'all asked for. You got your big, beautiful budget. That's what you wanted. Trump gave it right to you. You got your permanent tax cut. You're still pissed because the left, the other side, the majority, we still cannot stand you. We cannot stand Christian nationalism. We don't want it. And because we will not say we want your Christian nationalism, we embrace your Christian nationalism. We like your Christian nationalism. We like you. Because we won't do that, that's why you're still mad. But guess what we're going to keep on doing? We're going to keep on being moisturized and unbothered, and we still not going to like it. We're never going to like Christian nationalism. We're never going to accept it. We're never going to be down with it. And our squad is bigger than your squad at the end of the day. We have the Boricuas. We got the Mexican Americans. They done woke up. They said, whoo, Lord, let's go ahead and go with these folks. We got the spicy whites. The spicy white folk are with us. They're with us. Right? We got the Asian Americans who woken up and said, whoa, we better be with them. Right? Chinese Americans, they see you. Japanese Americans are like, you're going to do internment again? We see you.
South Koreans
are like, oh, we see you. Y'all going to kick the South Koreans out. Now you're going to cry because Georgia's going to have a worse economy because you're not going to get to have the South Koreans teaching y'all to have those high-tech jobs. The South Koreans are like, oh, well, sure hate it. Africa's like, we're just going to do business with each other. We got BRICS. We don't need y'all. Tourists are like, we don't need y'all. The African Americans, the Caribbean Americans are getting together and said, yo, why are we fighting each other? Caribbean Americans are like, yo, we were y'all. We made a hip hop together. Let's go off. And you're mad at us because we do not want to be with you. This America you want, that's yours, y'all. You keep it. We don't want it.
Wow, Joy, she did not hold back. And honestly, I agree with her. I just don't get, why is MAGA still so angry? They've literally gotten almost everything they've pushed for, right? I mean, right now we have Haitians and Koreans and Hispanic people being deported as if it's nothing, right? And these are not criminals. They're going to the schools to deport them, and they're okay with that. Remember, they had Alligator Alcatraz, and they still have the merch for that. They've literally gotten rid of almost all of the rights gained via the Civil Rights Act of 1964. And black men are again hanging from trees in Mississippi. So why are they so upset? I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't get it. I'm at a loss for words about it. It just doesn't add up. But maybe the best way to unpack it is to hear from others. I've gathered some stitches and comments from across social media so that you can see how people are reacting to her words. But before we get there, don't forget to like, comment, and share. Without further ado, let's get started.
Read. You know, I like this Joy Reid. I am a big proponent of everything happens for a reason. Almost everything happens for a reason. It might not be the reason we want, okay? But everything happens for a reason. And Joy Reid being let go by MSNBC for pretty much no reason at all definitely happened for a reason, because she is unleashed, unchained, and unbound, and I am here for it. On her podcast, she kind of went on a rant, and you guys have probably heard it because people have been soundbiting it, and it's been going around. If you are following me on the YT, I will have the whole clip at the end of this video. So if you guys want to see it and see what she said, it's about a 7-minute clip. I'll put it at the end of this video. But I not only want to speak about what she said, but I also want to add something that I don't think she mentioned at the end. And I think it is probably one of the biggest things that she was talking about. But let me get into it. So she went kind of on a rant and was like, dude, y'all got everything you want. What are you so angry about? Like, y'all are still some of the angriest people on the right that I have ever seen. Y'all still angry. Y'all still coming after people, still blaming people for your problems. Like, you have every single thing that you want. And she started listing off some things. And I do want to list off a couple of things that I have taken note of, some things that I've done videos of. They got Bone Spurs in office, all of Bone Spurs people, all of their podcast sensations and things like that, and the FBI, not a lick of police work between them, but they're in there, and then they want to criticize the FBI for not doing any police work when it came to Kirk, but I'm like, they've never done any police work. He is completely unqualified for the job, but that's what you guys wanted, right? Like, you guys wanted people who just aligned with your ideology. You didn't care if they were actually qualified for the job, and the people who were qualified for the job happened to not fit into your mold, and so they were DEI hires, and so you got rid of them. You got rid of the gay guy in the FAA, the black people and the women in the Defense Department and in the DOJ. If they did not adhere to your political ideology, in your mind, they were not qualified for that position. So you got what you wanted there. You put one of the most dangerous people ahead of the CDC. And in all of these really crucial departments, not only did they fire with Doge all of the people who were actually qualified for those positions and knew how those agencies worked, but they replaced them with yes people who would just do Bone Spurs' and his administration's bidding. And this is what we have. We have planes falling out of the sky, landing upside down, having engine failures, clipping each other in the middle of the air. We have people in Florida with children who do not have to be vaccinated at all, and they are free to mingle with other children and get each other sick as much as possible. We literally just had an unaliving of a child from measles in California. The child was unvaxxed. Now you guys are erasing history, shutting down museums and taking history that you don't like and taking it out of the museums, frightening people for telling the truth because it's not revisionist enough for you. It makes you feel uncomfortable. It makes you look like the bad guy on ideology that you still believe. And so you want to make everybody think that that ideology is a good thing. So you want to erase history so that people do not understand where you're actually coming from and where you want to go. You've gotten what you want when it comes to removing the quote-unquote illegal immigrants from this country, when in actuality they're just removing anybody with melanated skin that looks foreign to them. And it's okay because the Supreme Court said that they can profile people based on the color of their skin when it comes to immigration, not understanding that most of our immigrants are white. You have gotten what you wanted when it comes to the economy. You voted for tariffs. You got tariffs. And these tariffs are not only crippling our small businesses, but they are decimating our farmers. And our farmers are no longer getting the subsidies that I so eloquently laid out in one of my last videos. Go check that out, about all the subsidies that Biden had provided during his tenure in office and that Bone Spurs immediately took away. But they got everything they wanted. They owned the libs, which is what they wanted to do. You know, liberal tears and all of that. 7.5% of black people are unemployed. That's what they wanted. It doesn't matter that the overall unemployment has also gone up. But I'll get back to that later. All of these things they said they wanted. All of these things is what they voted for. And when people are down in my comments, that's what they say. Yeah, Bone Spurs is standing on business. And I like everything that he's doing because he X, Y, and Z. Nothing that actually puts money in their own pocket. It's just stuff that hurts other people. But I digress. But then Joy Reid in her rant got to the meat of it. She said that the reason why these MAGA, these people on the right who have gotten literally everything that they wanted, are so angry still is because we still don't want them in our spaces. We are not going to capitulate to them and tell them that they did a good job or that they were right about everything. We're still fighting. We're still lifting up our voices. And new voices, like mine, which didn't start until January 20th, are starting to come out. And MAGA doesn't really like that. MAGA thought that if they won and they hurt us bad enough, that we were going to somehow give in and tell them that they were right about everything. That's not how that works. We still don't want you in our spaces. As you cry about not being invited to cookouts or having your family cut you off, there's a reason for that. You're toxic, and we don't want you in our spaces. We also don't want your fake and unheard prayers. I got a lot of that since the Kirk situation, with a lot of people on the right who agree with him, who literally said, I feel like I lost a friend. A lot of people who would listen to his rhetoric and listen to what he said and agree with the things that he would say about women, about the black community, about the trans community, and every other marginalized community, and then get down into my comments and say that they were going to pray for me, as if any God in that book you claim to serve would ever hear your prayer. Your prayer at this point is a curse, and you can keep it to yourself. But I digress. MAGA men, and I mean black MAGA men and white MAGA men, and any MAGA men in between. Liberal women do not want you. Ever. That's another reason why y'all angry. Because for some reason you don't want your own MAGA women like you want liberal women. Maybe it's because it's a challenge? What is that? Ew. Go away. Nobody wants you. And honestly, that is why the black pill is a thing. And if you don't know about the black pill, people have been going down the Nick Fuentes rabbit hole and learning about the black pill. I did not do a video on that, and I might not, because it is absolutely diabolical. But another reason why they're mad, especially the farmers, Bone Spurs had mentioned something about the immigrants taking black jobs. People always wanted to act like they didn't know what a black job meant. Black people knew that the black jobs was the jobs in the field, the jobs in the hospitality, custodian positions, and things like that. Those were the black jobs that Bone Spurs was talking about. Farmers, like 78% of the farmers in Arkansas, thought if they voted for Bone Spurs and he got rid of all of their immigrants, and then they took DEI and affirmative action programs away and fired all of the black people, that black people would just assimilate back into the fields. See, the thing is, you obviously don't know black people very well. I did a video about how white people still think that we are in those concrete rises. They still think that 3% of our population is in poverty. And the ones that they do see in the nice white neighborhoods, we're just one of the good ones that made it. 48% of the black community are middle class, and it's growing, as well as our numbers. So we don't have to get back in our fields. If black people don't have a job and they get fired from their positions like I did at the beginning of this year, losing all of my clients with freelance, then they're just gonna find another way. We are extremely creative. We are extremely innovative. We are extremely resilient and determined. And we have decided that not only are we not getting into the streets, we're not getting into the fields. So they're mad about that. But I think there is something else that they are really super mad about that is a little bit more below the surface. They got everything that they wanted. They got the people in the positions. They got the person at the top of the ticket. They got everything they wanted. And they thought, because they were told that they were going to start feeling more relief, that they were going to get rich, have money, be on top. They thought that if they voted for a guy like Bone Spurs and they followed the ideology of a person like Kirk, they would be on top again. They thought that they were going to be invited to the party. And a lot of them right now are figuring out that they've been duped. They were tricked into voting for somebody who is only using them to usurp power. And now they are losing the things in their life. They've lost their families because their families don't want to talk to them. Their farms, in many cases. Their homes, in some cases. They're out of a job too. They lost those government contracts that they had. So now they're hurting more because prices are going up because of tariffs. I still have that video coming out. And they now don't have a scapegoat, because everybody that is in power, making them feel the way that they feel, are the people that they put there. That is why they're angry. Is because they were wrong. And they know they were wrong, and they don't want to admit that they were wrong. That's the true reason why they're angry. And I'm so here for this.
Yeah. So the very brilliant and highly intelligent and educated Joy Reid asked the perfect question. Why is Maga so mad when they already have everything that they want? Sis, you are absolutely right for asking that very question. I was thinking the same thing. Hey, y'all.
Had a great rant. I think it was yesterday, past couple of days, where she talked about if she gave it a title, and I don't think she did, but I will. I'll take the liberty of doing that. MAGA, why are you so angry? And she goes on for 4 or 5 minutes delineating all the things that they've accomplished, that how they're getting what they want, and yet they're still so angry. And she goes on to say that she believes it's because they want the left's acceptance of all their nonsense and all their BS, all their racism, their misogyny, their xenophobia. They want us to accept that and to embrace them and welcome them at our tables. She says a lot. So that's a very high level summary. And I want to tag on to that. And it made me think of how black people boycotted Target, right? There was an effect, and Target is still feeling that effect. And how there's marches, and how there's protests around the country, and then also how there are scheduled blackout days for not buying anything, right? In this capitalist society, money talks. And I think I would add something to that tags on to a post I made yesterday, and this is Monday, so I made that post Sunday, about not engaging with people who want you to convince them that racism exists. Don't do that. It's a waste of time. Grown-ups understand it, and it's just a waste of time. And Toni Morrison said, and I misquoted it in my video, but Toni Morrison said, it's a deflection and it just drains your energy and there's no use for it. It just keeps you busy doing nothing, right? I would add to that. And on top of what Joy Reid said, I would add that you should not, and we should not engage with MAGA, with racists, any of these people on any of the social media apps. Don't engage with them. Don't get into long conversations, long drawn out strings of comments and responses on and on. You're not going to change their minds. They're just there to feed the algorithm more hate and anger and more rage bait. You're not going to change their mind. MAGA wants your attention, so they show up on your feed. They show up on the left. They show up in all your social media apps. And the opposite is frankly not true. Many of us don't show up on their apps because we don't want nothing to do with this. So they show up on not our apps, but on our feeds and our accounts and the accounts we follow. They show up there because they want your attention. Don't give them that attention. Don't feed the beast. Don't feed the trolls. Just block, delete, mute, whatever you have to do. Don't give them that attention. Because you're not going to change their minds. You're not going to change their hearts. Yes, so if you get a chance, go listen to that Joy Reid rant. It's very, very good.
Joy Reid, they're upset because they have not been able to put us back in shackles. They have not been able to unalive us and put us back into slavery. That is why MAGA is upset. They don't give a shit about taking away DEI. They don't give a damn about rewriting history. They don't give a damn about sending immigrants back to where they came from, quote unquote. The reason they are still enraged is because they want us back in slavery. They want us in shackles. They don't have servants. They don't have nobody they can unalive at will and get away with it. They cannot be their ancestors right now. You see every last one of them asking for civil war, asking for Donald Trump to give them the green light, asking them to be activated in the name of Charlie Kirk, who stood for what? For exactly what they stand for. White people on top and everyone else at the bottom. Until the right-wing MAGA people are able to unalive us without having any repercussions, they will not be happy. And the fact of the matter is they've been doing it, just not at the rate they want to. So Joy Reid, they're never going to be happy. They're not going to be happy until they see us working in fields, sitting in squander, praying that we don't get sold the fuck off. Let's be real. Civil war is all about that. Taking power from everybody else and for them to be up at the top. And it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that shit out. Marjorie Taylor Greene wants to divide the country, trying to rewrite history as using Charlie Kirk as a man of God instead of looking at Charlie Kirk as a person that used God to spread hate. That's what it boils down to. Removing all brown people from this country and putting black people in shackles where they feel like we belong.
Tell me why white people are upset right now, particularly white supremacists. You won. You got the president you want. You got the House. You got the Senate. You got a corrupt Supreme Court that's upholding illegal activities of your president. You have a Gestapo-like ICE system that is running around the countryside, scooping up black and brown people and putting them into concentration camps without due process. They are coming for the rights of queer people, coming for the rights of gay people, outlawing the identity of trans people, and you still mad. I know why you mad. Because you have written your identity in disappearing ink. Race is a construct that requires racism to continue to give you power, and you have attached yourself to your whiteness, and whiteness is written in disappearing ink. It is a lack of culture, and the win for you is not enough that you have dominance and you have people on their knee. That's not enough. What you want us to do as well is like you. It's not enough that you're bombing the entire world to bend the knee to your need for capital. It's not enough that you have a person that has come from apartheid South Africa to the United States to try to enact the same thing that is about to be a trillionaire. It's not enough that you have a feckless person that is clearly an idiot in office. It's not enough that you are able to enjoy the fruits of the labor of black people in terms of culture and style. That's not enough. You need us to be subservient and bended the knee and serving you. You want to get rid of gay people unless we are available for your closeted behaviors. You want to get rid of black people unless we are making music and culture for you to enjoy. You want to get rid of science unless it heals you after you try to rub the rock under your armpit. You want women to shut up unless they are there to support you and sire children. You want black women to be disappeared unless you want to use them for your sexual exploits. And when you sire children with them that are not white skinned, you want them to be subservient too. And you want us to like you all, we're doing it. And we won't give you that. You are out here screaming, whites fight back, after a white person shot another white person in a majority white rally in a white supremacist led space because he was assassinated or killed by someone. And then you want to blame it on us because you want to be liked. You not only want to win, you want us to cry for your death after you beat us to death. And we won't give that to you. You know, you could let go of the construct and lean into humanity and realize that race is completely made up and it's disconnecting you from your full spectrum of the human experience, mental well-being and emotion, but you won't do that because you'd rather have the identity that you wrote down and took and ascribed and passed down that's written in invisible ink. Hold on to your race. It's keeping you sad and lonely and disappointed.
Joy Reid had a great summation yesterday. It's a great question. Why is MAGA so angry? Why is that side so angry? I hate saying sides because enough with the sides, but they literally have everything they asked for. Everything. Trump is in power. He's ignoring every law, doing whatever the hell he wants. So why are you so mad? And I've seen other people post about it. It just seems like they're really angry that the left, whatever, this side, is not reacting how they want. They want us to be fighting back, and we're not. Like, for me, I'm exhausted. I think this is all gross, vile, and what I see is people standing up for what they believe in, resisting, and protesting, which is what we're allowed to do. What I don't see are people fighting. So do whatever you want with that, but I think we're going with no response is a response. We're gonna stand up for what we believe in, but this violence thing, that's on you. And I don't want to see it go any further, but you know what? In the words of Mel Robbins, let them. They want to have this war with themselves, let it have them.
The right is angry. They're always angry. They've been angry since anyone can remember. They were angry when the Union won the Civil War and they had to give up their slaves. They were angry when Reconstruction gave their former slaves the right to vote. They were angry when black soldiers came home from World War I and World War II and insisted on being treated with dignity, having fought for their country. They were angry about jazz music becoming more popular, and then about rock and roll. They were angry when black children tried to integrate schools. The whole history of the American right, whether they called themselves Democrats, Dixiecrats, or Republicans, is a history of rage. And even having, quote, taken back their country, unquote, by putting Donald Trump back in the White House and unleashing Project 2025 on all of us, deleting affirmative action, DEI, black history, black scholarships, black-held jobs in the federal government, having driven women out of the military leadership and ended everything from farm subsidies to foreign aid, while getting away with an actual insurrection scot-free. They're somehow still angry. And because Q and I work in this space, and I'll speak for you, Q, we know that this is an exceptionally short list of things that these people find a way to be outraged about. Somehow everything is attack on them. Everything is an attack on their values. Somehow everything is an attack on their fiscal interests. Somehow doing anything that helps anybody that's not them is too much. But, you know, bailing out corporations and all this sort of stuff. Hey, we have to remain what it's so strange how the justifications for the moves that they're made are often fueled by anger. And I think that for a long time I kind of suspected that it was true. Then I started to kind of work in this space and see that it was true consistently. And now to see Joy kind of put it on full display, like, okay, here we are on the other side of Trump's election, on the other side of the better half of Project 2025. And these folks are like, it's Civil War time. They're calling in bomb threats to HBCUs. On and on and on. Just angry. It's kind of a moment where, I think a sobering moment where we recognize that there may not be, I should say, I don't want to speak in absolutes because these are people and these are our countrymen, for better or worse, but there may not be a version of reality for folks on the right and the far right that really feels like happiness. It just is something that is constantly elusive to them because they've already won in the biggest possible way, and still, and I know what you're going to say, so that's why I'm leaving it open-ended right that, and still they find a way to be angry. The right is angry. They're always angry.
It's your Justice Department that won't release the Epstein files. If you're mad about the Epstein...
Thanks for stopping in at Down the Road show. Why are y'all so damn mad? That's what we want to know. You got everything you wanted. Your side runs every inch of every department of the government. So now you are the deep state. The deep state you couldn't stand is now currently you, and you're still angry. Watch this entire video by Joanne Reed. Go watch her entire breakdown. She came on here and beautifully said everything I wanted to come on here and say today. Bravo, Joanne Reed. Why they got rid of you because of the right that's in charge of DEI right now. Stupid, dumb shit. Anyway, stay safe out there. Be smart, and we'll see you down the road.
Y'all so angry. You have the White House, you have both houses of Congress, you have
The reason conservatives are so angry, despite the very long list of things that she gave that they have, the reason that they're still angry is because we haven't bowed down and said, oh, you were right, I was wrong. I'm turning conservative now. Praise Jesus. That's why they're still mad. It's not good enough that they feel they're right. We have to feel that they're right.
You have the White House, you have both houses of Congress, you have a Supreme Court.
That's a very easy answer because it wasn't about winning for them, it's about hating for them. They hate more than they want to win. And then the other part about that is, if we treat MAGA the way MAGA treats us, they get really mad. But it's all about the anger and the hate for them. They have nothing more. There's no platform other than we hate the other people, and that has become their entire personality.
Why are y'all so angry? You have the White House, you have both houses of Congress.
Because they're being told to be. They can't think for themselves. So once one thing is resolved for dear leader tells them what else to be mad about.
Why are y'all so angry? You have the White House, you have both houses of Congress, you have
and the courts, and you got soldiers in the streets of cities, and you got abortion more illegal, and you got your podsters in the FBI, and boy, she goes off and off and off. And the question still is, why are so many white people in America angry? You won. Your little revolution came. You tried to overthrow the Capitol, and you all got let out of jail. You won. Why are you so angry? The rest of us just trying to survive this, and y'all are so angry. You're just coming for more and more. Why? What's going on at home? What kind of love do you need? You need a hug? You need a hug? You need to hug a black person? Feel a little better about yourself? Why do we have to fill in the hole in your heart? Whatever your trauma is that you're trying to fill by pushing with all this anger to change the country, it's a big gamble. It's a big gamble for you Christian nationalists. I know you convinced other people, but what happens if you get to heaven and God's like, you know you've been worshiping the devil, right?
Why are y'all so angry? You have the White House, you have both houses of Congress, you have a...
I'm convinced they want America to be great again. Hint, hint, wink, wink.
Okay, guys, that's all I got for this particular video. What are your thoughts? Why do you think MAGA is still so angry, even though they're getting exactly what they voted for? Let me know your thoughts. Let's have a conversation about it. And if you are MAGA, let us know. Why are you still so angry, or are you angry? Maybe this is what you voted for and you're happy with the way things are going. Let me know that too. But until the next time, don't forget, you guys, don't forget to like, comment, and share. And until next time, toodles.
Rewriting the Smithsonian to whitewash slavery. That's not just insane, it's goddamn dystopian.
Dystopian? Hell, it's like he's trying to out-Orwell Orwell. What's next? A fucking Trump Tower on the moon.
And the Gaza thing, Jesus H. Christ, take over Gaza. Displace millions. That's not policy, that's a goddamn war crime.
Don't forget the Everglades alligator Alcatraz. Massive detention sites. What the fuck is this? Jurassic Park meets Guantanamo.
And NATO threatening to withhold protection unless allies pay up? That's not leadership. That's a goddamn shakedown.
Look, I ain't no saint, but expanding strikes in Iran while cutting off Ukraine, that's like pouring gasoline on a dumpster fire.
It's not just reckless, it's suicidal. He's unraveling democracy faster than a cheap suit in a hurricane.
And the worst part, half the country's eating this shit up like it's goddamn apple pie.
If we don't stop this madness, we're looking at the end of the American experiment.